Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Bald Nowhere podcast. I'm your host, as always, David Miller, joined today, as always, by my lovely co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Watkins. So, Andrew, how are you doing today? It's been a while since we've recorded one of these.
I'm so tired. I'd work today. I'd worked
You
this
have a
whole week.
job?
Yeah,
When did this happen?
I've had it since the last recording. I guess a lot of time passes between recordings, which means
Yeah,
a lot of time passes between when we talk.
this dude's picking up all the side quests in the world between recordings and then just not filling me in.
So I had my whole week of waking up at 6 a.m. for school, and then I worked 7 to 12 twice on the weekend.
Whew,
So I'm a little tired, but
understandably so.
I'm excited to be back as always.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my time has been spent sitting on my ass watching football
I wish.
and
I
not being
wish.
productive. It's crazy to think that one of us is a full-grown adult and the other one is well, I guess you're an adult now. You're 18.
Yeah,
It doesn't. We mentioned that on the last episode. That doesn't sit right with me still. You're not an adult. That's impossible.
I'm still in denial that my
Yeah.
childhood is over. So, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna think about it.
Dude, I'm still in denial, and I'm almost 2 years removed. I'll be 20 in a month. Fuck.
Oh,
Ew. That's the first time I've said that out loud. That is awful.
oh no,
I hate that.
no. Never lose it. Never lose your childhood. You know, stay in denial.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Listen, that's why we're getting Pokemon for Christmas.
Yo, speaking of which,
20.
you got Scarlet, I got Violet.
Yo,
That's sick.
that's fitting. That's fitting. That's
sick.
awesome. Oh my god. Look at us. Look at us getting Pokemon. We're adults.
Yes, we are. We are.
Oh my. But yeah, Christmas happened. So Andrew, since we start one of these off with a question every time we do it, and I never know how to segue into it, so we're just gonna run with it. What was your favorite thing you got for Christmas?
The thing I've used the most, I got like a carrier for my Switch. But my favorite thing,
Okay.
this is like a paid sponsorship basically. I got a board game named Colossal, like
Okay.
COLOSTLE, and it's
Okay.
like a single player D&D type adventure where you write your own adventure using the board game as like an outline, and it like. For like the first week after Christmas, I was like sitting down, like writing with a pen, like pages on pages of a story.
That sounds awesome. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely speaking, that's dope as hell. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's sick. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, Santa, just 'cause. Yeah,
Yeah, because he's real.
he is real.
He is real.
I wrote my letter to Santa. I said, Santa, please, and like really bad handwriting, of course. I said,
Of
Santa,
course.
please.
Santa
Make
only
awesome.
responds if your handwriting is shit. That's why people stop forgetting. That's what people don't understand. You know, as you get older, people stop believing in Santa. It's because their handwriting gets better.
Exactly.
And he doesn't respond to you once you get to a certain point.
He's
Because
like, I can't read. I can't
his
read
eyes
this
are all
shit.
messed up. His eyes are all messed up from being alive for hundreds of years now, so he can only read fucking like scribbles and hieroglyphics.
Exactly.
And that's just how it works. Yeah. See, me personally, my favorite gift I got, and this is a hard flex, I got a PS5 finally after 3 years of wanting one. And it was a great story too, because I didn't get it like for Christmas, I got it on Christmas, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't wake up to it under the tree type thing. I woke up and I unwrapped my presents, and there were 2 PS5 games. So I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. You know, I got 2K and I got Call of Duty. Then there was no PS5, so I was like, oh,
That's interesting.
interesting, yeah. And then my mom was like, hey, you and your dad are going to an undisclosed location, like 30 minutes away. This guy on Facebook's going to sell you an unopened PS5. I was like, okay, that's sick as fuck. And we got there, and it was this very wholesome interaction. It was a dude that was like in his late 40s. He had little kids that were still sitting in the living room in their PJs playing with their video games. He was like, yeah, I got this one for my youngest, and he just didn't seem interested in it. So I threw it up on Facebook, and your mom commented in like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay, sick.
Sick. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So I ended up with the PS5 through those means, and all I have done is played Madden and 2K, and I feel like a degenerate, but I also feel like I'm 15 again,
That's the best gift. That's the whole spirit of Christmas right there.
feeling like
Whole
a
spirit.
degenerate.
Exactly.
No, it's great. Like I know it seems stupid because it's video games, but it's like rejuvenated my interest in them. Because like
Yeah.
right before Christmas, I wasn't playing as much because I kind of got bored. Once you become an adult, I keep saying it. I don't know why I keep saying that like this is a foreign concept to people. It just doesn't sit with me, and every time I say it, it sounds more real, I guess.
Yeah. Just keep
And
saying it.
again, I'm almost 2 years removed from it. That tells you where I'm at maturity wise. But like in all seriousness, like as you get older, I feel like we can all relate to the idea of video games getting less and less interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And now having this brand new console with new games on it, like I got the Gotham Knights game, which I'm super
Ooh.
excited to play. I haven't started yet. Um, I beat the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, which was fucking awesome. That was a great like nostalgia trip, but also not because it was, the reboot and rewritten and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, what else is there? I got the Miles Morales game that I haven't started yet that I'm excited for. I have that on my PS4 and I just never played it. And now I got like, the upgraded PS5 version.
Oh yeah.
So it's great. I love it. It's awesome to have. And I know it seems like I'm flexing right now. I'm not trying to because apparently the PS5 shortage is over. So it'll be mainstream once again.
Thank
But
God.
yeah, thank God. Right. Because I mean, I asked for that thing for 3 straight Christmases because, my parents are awesome, and I still get to be a little kid on Christmas and whatnot. And I felt more bad for them than I felt bad about not getting it because they would really beat themselves up over it because they just physically couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So it's like me getting it was more of a present for them than me at this point because of how excited they were to finally,
Yeah.
be able to
Finally.
get it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm like actually viciously jealous. I'm just hiding it with a smile.
Yeah. Andrew's breaking into my house later to steal it.
You should not have told me that.
He's
You should
coming
not have
through
told me
that broken ceiling tile in the background. That's his escape route, or his entry point and escape route.
that. And escape route. Yes.
Oh my. So, another question I have for you. We're going to do 2 questions today because it's been
Oh
so long. 2
boy.
for 1. So, we haven't recorded an episode since, let me pull up the date. I know it's been
Oh.
over a month.
Oh God.
Hold on. Last episode we recorded, I bitched about Zach LaVine, and then Zach LaVine, like, kind of remembered how to be a good ball player again. Our last episode was on December 4th. So just over a month ago, a month
ago.
and 4
Jesus
days.
Christ.
So I gotta ask, in that month and 4 days, what is like the biggest thing that's happened that you wanted to talk about but couldn't because I was like, no, or we just forgot to record, or wherever it may be.
Well, our planned Christmas episode went down the drain so
Yeah,
fast.
because I got sick. I felt so bad. We
I
we had this great plan for it, man.
yeah, we did. I got sick too, but I got sick on Christmas. So yeah.
That sucks.
I went down and opened presents and I came right back upstairs and sat in my bed for 3 hours and puked. Yeah.
See, I wasn't pukey sick. I was like headache, can't fucking function sick.
I can't function.
Yeah, when you're just like, no, it's not
Yeah.
happening today. Like
Yeah.
that type of sick,
Yeah.
A lot of that's probably like stress and whatnot, but we're not gonna get into that. Yeah. No, it did suck because we were gonna talk about our favorite Christmas songs, which just real quick, what is your favorite Christmas song?
I gotta look at my notes for that.
Oh my god, he's whipping out the notes.
I did. I was so serious about this.
I know.
We couldn't do it.
Yep, we couldn't do it. It's all my fault.
My favorite Christmas song is Silent Night for a specific reason.
Okay, what is the specific reason?
Back in the day, before I
back in the day.
graduated like Bible school, I guess you would call it, I went to church like every Sunday, and like
Okay.
now I don't, obviously.
Mhm.
But I always remember to go to the Christmas Eve mass because every day, like not every day, God, every time, like the main attraction is like at the end of mass, they dim the lights so like just the candles and stuff are on, and everyone sings Silent Night, and it's like absolute like be I could have just chugged like 3 Red Bulls and woken up from like a 500-year nap, and I would still fall asleep because it's like so comforting. And like
That's valid.
that's been going on my entire life, so it's like absolutely nostalgic to me.
That's actually a really sweet story.
Thanks, man.
I like that. That's wholesome. That is the spirit of Christmas right there.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Now, see, mine is a lot less sentimental. Mine is Run Rudolph Run because I think it sounds cool. And also Leonard Skinner did a cover of it.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, it's a great Christmas song though. It's fun.
It is
Talking
sick.
about getting a rock and roll electric guitar for Christmas, like
Oh yeah.
that's the classic rock fan's ideal Christmas song. Also, also honorable mention to Santa Baby,
Oh yeah.
like the Ariana Grande version. I think, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That goes hard too.
Dishonorable mention to "Baby It's Cold Outside." Dishonorable.
Yeah, that song's creepy.
I don't even. Why they allow that, and why are they
Well, because
still
it was a
showing that?
different time, and now it's become a classic, and people can like laugh at it.
She
You
literally
know,
says, "She says, what's in this drink?"
yeah, she just casual date rape in a
Yeah.
Christmas song. Who doesn't love that? I shouldn't say that. Even the sarcasm is too far with that one. I apologize. I shouldn't be sarcastic in this regard. Yeah, no, it's just awful. It's awful. It is
Yeah.
absolutely fucking terrible. It's a classic though. I just
Classic.
wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um. I don't know. Are there any other dishonorable mentions? Or simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Oh my god.
Fuck that song, dude.
It's so long.
It's so long and
Oh
so
my.
repetitive, and I hate it. I hate it.
Hate that thing.
It's
Hate the
awful.
thing. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement there. Um, now I can't remember when we did our last podcast episode. Was that before or after Kanye did a Kanye?
That was after.
Okay, so we did talk about that in the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that was going to be my answer, but apparently we already covered it. So I don't have anything to contribute now, and I feel like a fool. Look at me, just lame. Anyways, I got one more question for you.
Oh my
We're
god. Okay.
tripling up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know how else to segue into these. I suck at this. Okay, I'm out of the loop.
Out of the loop. Out of practice.
So obviously, the other holiday that occurred was New Year's.
Of
Since we
course.
last recorded, as it happens. What are your New Year's resolutions, if you have any? Because I know not everyone keeps them.
Okay. I have 3, I think.
Okay.
Well, 2 not specific, very boring ones. Work out more.
Okay. As
Um,
everyone says.
and then make more money.
Ah, yes.
I
The
actually have
two
so many.
keys to life.
I I have so many resolutions. It's actually insane. But okay. So 3. Um, I've been a writer for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Finish something, anything, and publish it.
Oh, okay.
Literally anything. Because it's been. I started in 3rd grade. I'm in 12th grade. I've not finished a single thing. Genuinely, like not even a short story or a poem or anything. Never finished. Post more. Be more consistent on this.
On just this, not that
On
other app that you used to post on that
I
you
used
neglect.
to. Yeah, true. The thing is, I just feel like I'm out of the loop. Get back in the loop for sports.
There you go.
Get back in the
There
loop
you
for
go.
sports. Attend college
That's a good one.
because that'll be this year.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Okay. I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mine are fairly similar. Obviously, get in shape, make money. Who doesn't want to do those two
Yeah.
things?
It's
I'm
like
not
always
going.
one and two.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do either one, but you know, I'd like to.
Of course.
I'd like to. Like, I'm a big fella. That's no secret. That's not something I try to hide. So I'd like to, maybe be not as big of a fella by the end of the year.
David weight loss journey.
Yeah,
I'm
real,
excited.
honestly. No, I'm proud of myself. I've actually stuck with it so far. Like 2 weeks before the new year, I started using an exercise bike because, long story short, my family's living with my grandparents right now, and my grandmother has 3 exercise bikes in her basement for apparently no reason. So I was like, you know what? Let's make use out of one of them. So I've been using one for 30 to 40 minutes a day for the past 3 weeks.
Golly.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Jesus. That's
Yeah,
a good machine to it for it too.
yeah, yeah. Um, on top of that, obviously, like you said, get more consistent with posting. Not so much on TikTok, because I personally have kept with it and I post at least once a day. But on here, obviously, with not posting for a month and not doing like a side video in forever, uh, we want to get back in the swing of that. And then another one pertaining to the podcast. I want to have a Bears player on the podcast. That would be swell. I was in talks with a former Bears player over the summer. I've talked about this like 100 times on here, and that unfortunately fell through because of life, which is okay. I'm not upset by that by any means. The man had a child. That is a valid reason to not come on a college kids podcast is
That's
when you have a
unbelievable.
child.
That is unbelievable.
All right, don't slander him. Don't do this. But there is another Bears player that actually follows me on Twitter that I'm sure if I just said the word, I could maybe set something up here sooner or later, which would be pretty sweet. Um, and my other one is kind of in line with your get back into the loop of things, is just get more into the NBA. Like I would like to understand what's going on so we can have more meaningful conversations on the podcast other than Andrew, what's happening in basketball? And then putting all of the pressure on you to be like, well, and then, being
Yeah.
unfair and not contributing whatsoever. I'd like to fix that. So, those are kind of the big ones as of right now. Also, one other one that I just thought of, get back into theater.
Yeah!
I'd like to go on a show this
Yeah!
year. Yeah. We talked about that on the last episode or the 2 episodes ago, wanting to get back into theater, and I want to do that this year. I want to find a way to do it. So throw
Yeah.
that in there as well. But anyways,
I have a
oh,
seventh one just to keep
okay,
the audience, just to keep
okay.
leading the audience on. Finish the review of Stranger Things. Start the review of Stranger Things, actually.
Start.
Yeah. No, I wrote the script. It's just been
Is
laying
this script
dormant.
outdated yet?
No, it's
Oh,
no.
you wrote it after the new season came out?
Yeah, I wrote it on the first season.
Oh,
I
okay.
was gonna do it season by season.
Okay. I gotcha. I
Yeah,
gotcha. My
we were in the
mistake.
old house when I finished that. I just have not filmed it
That's
or
valid.
any of that.
That's valid.
I'll get on
Um,
that.
I'd like to point out right before we recorded, when I was like, Andrew, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, he said he didn't have any.
Yeah,
So
I
he
lied.
came up with all of those on the spot.
Yeah, having sevens.
Yeah. Look at him go. I just made him better himself for the year. So when you're a better person in 2024, you can thank me. It was my doing. I inspired you to be a better person.
Of course.
uh, all right. Well, now that we're 20 minutes into this thing, let's get into talking about some recent events. The first of which, probably the most notable, is the unfortunate situation with Bill's safety, Damar Hamlin. Thankfully, we're on the good side, or not the good side, the better side of this, I suppose, is how you'd put it, because he's breathing on his own. He has feeling in his hands and feet. He's communicating with his teammates. He was tweeting throughout the Bills game today. He's been on FaceTime with his teammates. Like that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Like I don't know, were you watching the game when it happened by chance?
No,
Okay.
I saw the ESPN notification.
Yeah. So watching the game, I mean, he tackles T. Higgins, looks like a routine thing. We've seen it a billion times before. And then flip it, 2 seconds later, he's standing straight up and then just drops, goes into cardiac arrest. He had to be resuscitated on the field, or not on the field, but resuscitated twice that night. And, they didn't know what was going to happen. And now the guy seems to be on the track to hopefully being 100% again. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what he'll do with his career and all that kind of stuff. That's not for me to talk about. Way too soon to be talking about anything like that. Um, Although I will say one thing that's going to come in the future. This is like a prediction of mine, and I think this is a little more lighthearted. Did you hear what the doctor told Damar Hamlin when he asked who won that game?
No.
So Damar Hamlin, when he was able to speak, or not able to speak, I'm sorry, he was writing. They had him with a pen and paper, and he wrote down, and he asked who won the game. And the doctor looked at Damar Hamlin and said, "You did. You won the game of life." And I'm telling you right now, they're going to make an original movie entitled "The Game of Life: The Damar Hamlin Story," in which they're going to tell his story. I'm telling you right now, that's coming.
Yeah.
I can, like, that is the perfect, like, kind of cheesy but also very wholesome and inspirational title for like a Disney original, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not advocating for profiting off of a young man almost dying. Obviously, that's don't do that. But it's inevitably going to happen. They're inevitably going to make a movie or a 30 for 30 or something about the situation, and that's what they're going to call it.
Yeah.
And when they call it that here in 2-3 years, you can come back to this podcast episode and you can be like, he called it.
He called it.
He knew it. He knew it. Yeah. Now, when I brought this up prior to recording, Andrew, you said there was something specific regarding the situation that you wanted to speak about.
I guess this is what I wanted to talk about with Shannon Sharp and Skip
Yeah.
Bayless.
Yeah.
Skip like tweeted whatever he tweeted, and like that didn't that spark a whole thing, and then
Yeah. Everyone was pissed.
the
Twitter
fuse,
blew up over it.
the fuse led to the bomb exploding, and that
Mm-hmm.
show has gone to crap. Oh, let me say this, just keep it on topic a little bit. Um, like anything that was along the lines of what Skip said was like absolutely unbelievable. Like people
Mm-hmm.
being more concerned about the game than him is kind of crazy, like literally insane. And in that same vein, people talking about like T. Higgins being like a dirty player or
He
whatever.
got death threats.
Yeah, it's like that's like unbelievable.
No.
Considering literally did not look like much. Like
No.
I got hit like that when I played football on the one tackle that I did,
Yeah, it was a
and I was
routine
fine.
football move. It was a ball carrier lowering his shoulder and running into a defender. It happens 100 times a game easily.
Yeah,
Nothing dirty, nothing unusual. Just a fucking literal freak accident. Nobody's at fault.
yeah. So then when Skip tweeted stuff like that, it really like Shannon reacted the way you should be reacting to stuff like that. And on Undisputed, he skipped a day, right? He did not come to set. Um, I think, and that has led to so much drama between them. There's like this thing with Skip talking about Tom Brady being better than Shannon, and Shannon being so jealous of him because he's playing he's playing at 45, and Shannon had to quit at 35. That is like the most insane thing I've ever heard, and it's the worst case of like you haven't been there, so don't talk about it. I've
Right,
ever seen. Like,
right.
and that has just inspired me to be like, just don't put any of these analysts on these shows anymore. Put like just the like. I just want to hear players' opinions on players because Skip has no idea what he's talking about compared to Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
And like them yelling at each other makes me so sad because like it's like not to be a theater person, but like in like a simple way, that's the whole like that's the whole conflict of Hamilton is like the legacy. It's like what you leave behind, and Skip is discrediting his legacy
Hmm.
so heavily. That's what he's worked for his entire life, 3 Super Bowls, a Hall of Famer, all that, and he's just like, "You're not as good as this other dude. You're a bum," or whatever he said. That's like unbelievable. I would have left the show immediately, personally.
Mhm. No, I wouldn't have left the show. I would have told him to kick Skip the fuck off because people. That's why people tune in. They don't tune in for Skip. They tune in for Shannon Sharp because he's a fun, animated, intelligent media personality that understands where players are coming from and goes to bat for players like that. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I don't. No, I will say we differ a little bit. I don't think that necessarily people who don't play sports are automatically lesser analysts than those who did. Like we have seen people, for example, just recently with the Damar Hamlin situation. Do you know who Bart Scott is?
No. Oh, I've
He,
heard his name. I've
he was
heard
a
his name.
linebacker for the New York Jets in the 2000s, someone I grew up watching, right? He said that the NFL should crack down on players doing what T. Higgins did. The NFL should be more careful and crack down on players lowering their shoulder. That is about as routine as a routine football move gets.
Yeah.
Running backs, genuinely speaking, fullbacks wouldn't have careers if you couldn't lower your shoulder as a ball carrier. A lot of running backs wouldn't have a career if you couldn't lower your shoulder as a ball carrier. Receivers, tight ends, even some fucking quarterbacks. Josh Allen, for example, lowers his shoulder when he runs the ball at times. That it's a routine football move. And Bart Scott, who was an NFL linebacker, the man who was on the receiving end of all of this and has seen many, many ball carriers lower their shoulder, is like, well, maybe not anymore. Just don't do it anymore. Like, come on, man. Or
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy has been, maybe it's more prevalent with football guys. I don't watch a whole lot of former basketball players as commentators, obviously, but like LaShawn McCoy, great running back, one of the most fun players I've ever watched play. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He runs his mouth about a lot of nonsense. And, you know, obviously, football players, basketball players, whatever sport they've played, they have a more personal experience with it. You're right in that regard. But some people just don't know how to articulate, not know, because that comes off bad, not articulate themselves. But some people don't think before they speak. That's the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a problem of how he speaks. It's what he says and how he doesn't take it back. Like, I don't know. I think most professionally trained journalists that didn't play sports are fine, but people like Skip, people like Colin Cowherd, these people who are only on the air because they're controversial and they say off the wall shit that gets clicks, I absolutely agree. This is a really shitty wave of sports journalism and sports media that we are currently witnessing because that's all it is. It's who can get the best Twitter clip, who can get the best TikTok clip, who can get the best Instagram reel. It's not about sitting down and having intelligent conversation for 60 minutes to 120 minutes, however long. It's about being viral. It's about going viral. It's about saying crazy shit. And like YouTubers, TikTokers, that's fine. These are amateurs. You know, that's how they blow up. But if you've been in this business for 30, 40 years, and that's why you're there, that's what you've been relegated to. And, you know, not all of them is their fault. Some guys, they kind of get forced into that role. But Skip and Coward, who have made a career off of it, I hate it.
Yeah. I was going to readjust what I was saying to say stuff like that, but you just said
Yeah.
it.
I
So,
mean, I
yeah.
figured that's what you meant.
Yeah.
You know how I am. I stole your thunder. I apologize.
Yeah. And I think for reasons like that, that's why like I'm forgetting the name of the freaking show, but
Undisputed?
no, Shaq, Kenny.
Oh, NBA on TNT.
Yeah. That's why like that's the most fun show to watch
Yeah.
because you can tell they know what they're talking about. And Ernie's there. Ernie has not played basketball, but he's a smart dude.
He's smart and he's respectful.
Exactly.
And that's the key with him, and that's the key with all of them. Like, they fuck with each other. You know, I've seen clips before of Kenny making smoothies with Vaseline or some shit and feeding it to Chuck. And, like, you know, that's weird, but it's funny and it's respectful. You're never going to see them go to war against each other. You're never going to see them scream or call the other one a bum and actually mean it. Like, I'm sure Shaq's called Chuck a bum before, but, like, not actually meant it. He has respect for the man. Another guy that I should have brought up when I was talking about people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, Dan Orlovsky's also an idiot. He's another one that's a former player. Granted, he wasn't quite as successful as a guy like Scott or Shady McCoy. He's best known for running out of the back of his own end zone. But, he was still an NFL quarterback for a long time, and he doesn't always know what he's talking about. Great, and you can say that comes off as arrogant from a fucking bearded 19-year-old who lives with his parents, but it's the truth of the matter. I'm not the only one who thinks like this. This is pretty much consensus at this point. So I do agree. These I'm sure there's a term for it that I should know, considering I'm in school to be a broadcast journalist, but I'm sure there's a way to describe these idiots. Speaking of Skip, slightly related. Did you happen to see the article that he wrote about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that surfaced recently, or that was getting shared around because of his comments? So I saw it because,
God.
Yeah. So this was like back in the day. This was a newspaper article that Skip wrote. And basically what happened is Kareem had just released an autobiography, and Skip was supposed to interview him. And Kareem didn't show up. There was some sort of scheduling conflict. So instead of doing something different, Skip was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on the book. And he described it as being, I'm paraphrasing here. I don't remember the exact words he used, but he basically said it came off as arrogant and pretentious and entitled, and was like, discrimination aside, any white man would give their life to be a 7-foot black man surrounded by women making millions of dollars. And just the most tone-deaf, borderline racist bullshit article I've ever read. Like, because, Kareem was very into political activism, and, he changed his name because of transitioning to a different religion and things like that. Like, he was a very vocal figure with his beliefs and his thoughts on like oppression and how African Americans were treated and things like that. And for Skip to say something so just fucking tone deaf,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. But yeah, I fucking hate Skip. I hate Colin Cowherd. I hate these shock media journalists wannabe fucks. It's so stupid. It's why I don't watch ESPN anymore, because a lot of them are like that. But yeah, like NBA on TNT is a great example of people who know what they're talking about. Most of the football broadcasters nowadays, because that's pretty much what happens. All the sensible former players go sit in the booth, and then that kind of leaves the table at ESPN for Shannon and then everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah. More importantly, though, I just want to, bring it up. I know we've all heard about it by now, but I want to check live on air where Damar Hamlin's toy drive's at, how much money it's raised, because this whole situation, I mean, it's amazing how quickly everybody came together in support of this guy. Because if I recall correctly, before the game, the drive had made $1,200, and his goal was, $2,500. And last I checked, he was up over 8 million. Yeah, as of yesterday, up over $8 million.
Oh my God,
that's nuts. It's absolutely insane. Shit, I can't find the actual link. I tweeted it out. I'll go to Twitter. That'll make things way easier on myself. But could you imagine how that must have felt waking up to that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Finding out that people came together like that and donated all that money for, underprivileged kids and whatnot. That sounded bad.
And whatnot.
That was just a muscle memory reaction, muscle memory phrased. All right, it's at $8.5 million with over 243,000 donors as of 9:47 on Sunday night.
Oh my God.
That is insane.
That is crazy.
Like, there has been so much positivity that's come from this whole situation. We saw players embracing each other on the field. There was a picture that went semi-viral of Joe Burrow and Josh Allen hugging, and Josh Allen clearly was crying. And, the coaches stepping up for their players on the field. Did you hear about that whole thing, like the situation with that?
No.
So initially, after they got Hamlin off the field, which took a long time, I believe he was on the field for an hour, they said, all right, get your players together. warm up for 5 minutes, and we're going to finish the game. And Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor, the two head coaches, came together at the 50-yard line. We're like, we're not doing this. So they took their guys into the locker room, and they waited until the NFL finally called down and said, okay, we'll postpone the game. And then eventually they canceled it. And, a lot of people are upset about the Bengals playoff seeding because of it and whatnot. But, like, mad props to them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We've talked about it on here a decent bit before, the mental health of athletes and how it goes overlooked. Can you imagine? Good Lord. Can you imagine how they must have felt on the field watching that? Not, I hate to say it, but like not knowing if he was going to wake up, not knowing if he was going to, if they were going to get to speak to him again. And then for someone to be like, all right, you got 5 minutes, go out and play football.
Yeah.
That's awful. And there were people pissed off about it. There were people saying over one injury, we're going to cancel a game, or worried about their tickets, their bet, their fucking fantasy football championship. It's ridiculous.
That's so stupid. Like that's
so stupid.
Like if you're on that field, he's like your brother. And you see him collapse right in front of you. You feel so helpless from that. And then against your will, you're forced to play. Like that is like if I was playing and I'm practicing with Damar Hamlin for every day for like 7 months out of the year. And he goes down like that, I'm not going to be able to play for the rest. Like, I'm not going to, like, that's a serious mental scar.
Yeah.
And like, you can still see that affecting them a week later because Josh Allen's like almost crying in a post-game conference because a moment felt so special for him because he felt that it like really, I don't know, like it was a sign from God.
Yeah.
So it's clearly affects the players.
Absolutely. Like, look, if you want to be like that, if you really care about the game happening, because in all fairness, it was a big game. Two AFC powerhouses going at it on Monday Night Football in a year where Monday night games were very underwhelming. And they're fighting for a chance at the number one seed in the AFC. That's an important game. That's a meaningful game. I can guarantee you, these guys, if they would have went out there and played, it would have been sloppy. Their minds wouldn't have been in it. Their hearts wouldn't have been in it. And it wouldn't have been a good game of football. So even if you wanted them to keep playing, you weren't getting this grand battle of titans that you thought you were getting. You're getting a bunch of guys who just, are disconnected.
Yeah.
And like, I hate even having to bring that up because I hate having to even think about them being forced to play on the field after that happened. But, at the end of the day, it just objectively wouldn't have been a good ball game if you were that worried about it. Now, speaking of affecting the Bills a week later, they mollywopped the Patriots, in the name of Damar Hamlin. I'm trying to find the exact stat, but they returned 2 kicks for touchdowns today. And there was a special thing. I believe it was the amount of time between this kickoff return and the team's last kickoff return was like 3 months to the day or something like that, or 3 months and 3 days or something like that. Where's it at? This is pissing me off. Why can't I find it? All right. Anyways, I also saw that they had 3 interceptions as a team, and they scored 30 some points, which, that's kind of reaching, but the 3's still there. Like, it was very much a for Damar game, and for it to be against here it is. Yeah. It was 3 years and 3 months since their last kick return for a touchdown. And it happened twice today. They had 3 interceptions, scored 30 points, and took home a big win. All for Damar. And like I said, he was live tweeting the game. There was a point where, who was it? Their tight end. Why can't I remember? Dawson Knox, their tight end. After he scored a touchdown, he went like this, and then Damar Hamlin retweeted the video and was like, "Love you too, bro." And like, it was really sweet. It was really wholesome to see just, the support for him. And then obviously all across the league, everyone wearing Damar Hamlin shirts with his number 3 on it. And, just the outpour of support and love for this guy. It's amazing. It truly is amazing. I was very, very surprised of actually how well the NFL handled it after the fact because, they butchered the game. They butchered trying to send them back out on the field, although that's apparently the refs. I don't know. It's still the NFL. I can't imagine they were very happy that they had to close the game because it's the NFL and all they give a shit about is money. But they did well. The league, more or less. The league, the teams, the players, the coaches, the staff members, they all did so well for Damar and honoring him and supporting him throughout the past week and today. And it warmed my heart. Truly, it was beautiful. Yeah. Now, speaking of the games today, we got to talk about the Bears game. But we're not going to talk about the game itself because that sucked. It was not a good ball game. I watched Nathan Peterman and God, I said the guy's name wrong. I forget our fucking fourth string quarterback that we brought up. Tim Boyle. That's his name. Tim Boyle. Nathan Peterman and Tim Boyle. Those were the two guys throwing passes for the Bears today. That was awful. But because we lost and the Houston Texans won on some bullshit. I mean, me and my dad were watching the end of that game together, and it was insane. It was like a fourth down Hail Mary with a minute left. Davis Mills threw it on the run, and the ball went through a DB's hands, and a tight end caught it in the end zone. And then they went for two to take the lead, and it worked. The tight end caught it, and then they get to defense, and they kept them from getting anywhere close to field goal range. Like, God wanted the Bears to have the number 1 overall pick today. It came off that way. It definitely seemed like God wanted us to have this pick because everything went our way. And I am so happy about it. And yeah, I know, number 1 overall pick, worst team in the league, blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourself. Okay, the Bears have a quarterback, and they have $100 million in cap space. They have young pieces. They have a good head coach. They have a GM I'm confident in. And now they have the number 1 overall pick in a class with really good quarterbacks, and they don't need a quarterback.
Yep.
Which means they can trade down and get a haul from a team that does need a quarterback.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Yeah. Just within the top 4, there are 2 teams that need quarterbacks that we could feasibly trade back with. Because what's going to end up happening is you have Bryce Young, you have CJ Stroud. The Houston Texans, I don't think this is as likely, but we've seen it before, ironically. The Bears did it when we drafted Mitch Trubisky. If they think a team's going to trade up to 1 with the Bears, because I can't imagine there's a world where the Bears keep this pick. They're trading it.
Yeah.
If the Texans are afraid a team's going to trade up to 1 to take Bryce Young, and they really want Bryce Young, they might have to trade up a spot, which would mean the Bears still get their pick of other player that isn't a quarterback, and they get additional assets for trading back, which would be insane. And like I said, it's not hyper realistic. What's more realistic is trading back to like 4 with the Colts, who are desperate for a quarterback. They can jump a division rival and get their franchise guy, which would be amazing. Or, the Raiders, the Jets, the Lions, even the Seahawks. Actually, I need to take the Seahawks out of there. Gino just took them to the playoffs. At least I hope he did. That might age poorly because I know if the Packers win, they get in the playoffs. So fingers crossed, Gino just took them to the playoffs. But yeah, there's like 4 or 5 teams in the top 10 that the Bears can trade back with, and it's going to be a hefty price to trade back.
Yeah,
because a lot of teams are going to be trying to move up. It's going to turn into a bidding war, and the Bears are going to sell that pick off to the highest bidder and then walk away with Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, whoever. The possibilities are limitless. Either way, they're gonna have a big shiny new toy in the first round this year. They're gonna have a bunch of mid-round picks. They got $100 million to spend, and they got a quarterback on the rise.
Yeah, that's
huge. I'm so excited for the Bears next year. Yeah. This is the most excited I've been heading into an offseason ever. Ever. Genuinely, ever.
I mean, it's
every other year. Yeah, because every other year it's like, oh, we got to figure out the quarterback. What are we doing? Is Mitch staying? Is Mitch going? Oh, we signed Andy Dalton. Okay. It's always a mess. But now we have the guy that we can build around. We have the guy. We have other young pieces that emerged. Rookie UDFA Jack Sanborn, who actually on the Bears team preview that we did here on the podcast, I praised the hell out of. and I feel like a genius for loving him as much as I did because he looked awesome this year. Got Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Cole Kmet, who scored a touchdown. My boy, my favorite player in the league, best touchdown celebration in the league by far. It's exciting. However, on the flip side of things, this might be the last time I ever see David Montgomery wear a Bears uniform, which breaks my heart. Because if he's not a Bear next year and he's playing somewhere else, I will cry. I don't cry over NFL players a lot. I cried over Brian Urlacher. I cried over Devin Hester. And that's it.
Oh.
But David Montgomery can add himself to that very short list. Very easily. Very, very easily. Because I love David Montgomery, man. I love him to death. He has been one of my favorite players since he's been on the Bears. He epitomizes everything this team wants. And quite frankly, I know paying running backs is bad practice and people don't want to do it. I think it's worth it. Mm-hmm. He is still young. He's 24, 25 years old. I think 25. He's not going to be super expensive. He's just not. He's going to be maybe a third of the price that guys like Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley are going to be. He wants to be a Bear. He loves the city. He loves the team. The team loves him. He's very much a team-first type guy. And we had the best rushing attack in football this year. Why would you break it up? Of course, that also means you got to extend fullback Kari Blasingame, which I think is a given. I don't think there's any chance he doesn't come back, but I really hope Monty comes back. That's the main thing here. Now, Andrew, your team's in the playoffs.
Yeah, is it like the first time in 5 years, I think?
I believe so. It's the first time since they posted that picture of them on the fucking yacht shirtless.
I know that much.
Yeah, I think it's been about 5 years. It's around there. But they did it. We thought the Giants were going to suck.
Yeah, we did.
And they're the 6th seed, 5 seed.
Big miss. Big miss. Who are we playing? Just if you know.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I can pull it up.
Because I'm always going to lowball to just not get my expectations high.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how much faith I have in the team, but
hold on. NFC playoff matchups. It'll be on Twitter. Everything's on Twitter.
Everything's on Twitter. Come on now.
Minnesota. That's who they play. Minnesota. They just played Minnesota last week, if I'm not mistaken. And Minnesota won on a last-second, 65-yard field goal.
I mean, I think we were 6-1 at one point.
7-1.
7-1. Now we're 9-7. So 9-7-1. I don't know. That'll be a close game. I'll be watching.
Andrew watching a football game. Look at it. Look at that.
I watched the first 5 weeks. I watched I watched 3 games a Sunday. First 5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Then
I'm
I
proud
lost
of you.
it. Then I lost.
Then you lost it.
Well, I watched anything that was on YouTube TV every Sunday.
Valid.
So it's Packers, Lions every week. So
you're gonna keep up with the playoffs, right? So we can talk about the playoff games like we did last year. Okay, good.
Yeah, good. It's much easier to follow the playoffs.
It is much easier to follow the playoffs. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know I'm fine with the first round exit, At least we got there. And unfortunately that means we're middle of the pack again. We did just good enough to get in the playoffs, just bad enough to not get a good pick or anything.
Well, you have a good foundation to build off of. That's what matters. Still have a first round pick. You can get a wide receiver for Daniel Dimes if you so choose to extend him, which will be an interesting conversation to be had. I personally think you shouldn't, because I think you can do much better at quarterback. He's not great. He was just kind of a placeholder. I think he held your offense back a little bit, if we're being totally honest. But it'll be interesting to monitor for sure. And Brian Dable, you got a great head coach.
Yeah.
Which is a W.
I'm saying that he's the whole reason why this happened. Complete 180. It's insane.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, so let's look here. look at the playoff seeding. In the AFC, Kansas City's number 1, Buffalo's number 2, Cincinnati's number 3. Jacksonville is the 4 seed. They won the AFC South, which I'm fucking
Wow.
pumped about.
An even
Came
bigger
up out of
turnaround.
nowhere. Yep. The Chargers are the 5 seed. The Ravens are the 6 seed, and the Dolphins are the 7 seed, which means the Pittsburgh Steelers missed the playoffs.
Woo!
When Pittsburgh loses, America wins. Although, shout out to them because they beat Deshaun Watson today. And we're actually going to talk about that here in a minute in a special segment that we're going to be starting and doing every week. And then in the NFC, you've got the Eagles as the 1 seed. The 49ers, your future Super Bowl champions, as the 2 seed with Brock Purdy at quarterback.
That is
So,
insane.
dude, he has, I can't remember who came up with the nickname, but somebody on Twitter started calling him the Brock Pot. And whenever a team loses, they say you just got slow cooked by the Brock Pot. And that is my favorite thing. I love it.
Slow cooked for the garage. Oh my god.
Anyways, you got Minnesota's the 4 seed. Tom Brady managed to pull the Buccaneers out of the fucking basement and take them to win the NFC South, which means they're the 4 seed. Dallas is the 5 seed. The Giants are the 6 seed. And then either Green Bay or Seattle will be the 7 seed. Let's check the score of the Lions game.
Oh boy.
It is 9-6 in the third quarter.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's grand.
That's
That's
almost
grand.
impossibly funny.
Yeah. So either Seattle or Green Bay is the 7th seed, hoping it's Seattle. I'm bummed the Lions got eliminated. Which, it would have been cooler if the Seahawks lost. I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. I'm rooting for y'all now. But, if y'all lost, it would have been winner gets in between the Lions and Packers. And I think America wanted the Lions in the playoffs.
Of course.
But
it's the Packers for sure.
Yeah, anyone other than the Packers, quite frankly. Anyone. Put me in the playoffs. I'll be the whole team. It'll be like that one episode of Family Guy where Peter goes by himself against the entirety of the New England Patriots and dies on the kickoff. That'll be me. But it's still better than trotting the Packers out there.
Of course.
Yeah. Put Andrew's middle school team out there. They're better than the Packers.
God, I want to survive. I want to live.
You look like Justin Fields out there, literally running for your life behind no offensive line.
Running for my life. I would get tackled by Joey Bosa in the first game of the playoffs and be done for my entire life.
Yeah. In the NFC playoffs, even though Joey Bosa plays in the AFC.
No, I meant Nick Bosa. God.
Dude, I listen, I make the same fucking mistake, okay? It's not a big deal.
I had full confidence too. That's unbelievable.
Okay. So now, Andrew, basketball time?
I said this before the podcast started, and I'm not gonna go the team route. I'm gonna go the player route because we've had some crazy performances from literally 7 people.
7. That's a lot.
Donovan Mitchell scored 21 on. I think he had a double, almost triple double.
You say 21?
71.
Yeah, and he did that against the Bulls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was it? It was 71, 11, and 8.
I believe so. Let's double check that.
That is literally my career stat line.
It is my career stat line. That's very true. Yes, 71, 11, and 8, 22 of 34 from the field, 7 of 15 from 3.
Jesus.
That is bonkers.
He's a baller.
And I hate that he's a Cavalier.
Yeah, it feels weird.
It does.
Real weird.
And it's not even because it feels weird. I just don't like the Cavaliers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I love that he dethroned Devin Booker.
Yeah, because you don't like Devin Booker. You're
Devin Booker,
the world's biggest Devin Booker hater over here.
Exactly. Love that I don't think he's playing good, as far as I can tell. I don't like watching Phoenix basketball, so
he's Devin Booker. He can't be playing bad.
as far as I can tell, he's not playing as good as people thought he would, which
Yes,
means
of
I'm
course.
happy.
Yeah,
I think Giannis had a 60-20-10 game or something. I don't know. I have
that
to look
sounds
that
right.
up.
Hold on, let's look that up as well. No, I don't want my Be Real to go off.
No.
No, Be Real, I am busy. Um,
Oh, it was 55-10-7. He had a 43-20-5 game,
yeah,
immediately following a 45-22-7 game.
yeah,
The NBA is just a little bit bonkers this year in terms of like individual performances.
that it is.
There are so many fantastic players. Luca had a crazy game. I don't know what his exact stats were. Oh, what was it? 60.
Luca had a
That
stupid
was the
triple
60.
double.
That was the 60-20 game, I think.
Yeah,
Um, insane, literally nuts. Uh, Whoever wins MVP this year is like my goat because there are.
the
It's
Michael
like
Jordan Most Valuable Player award. Whoever wins it is your goat, not the guy that award's named after.
this is like the craziest year for MVPs I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mhm.
Donovan Mitchell's not even on the like tier list, and he scored 71. You have like Giannis, Luca, Jokic, KD, Jason Tatum's on there somehow. I don't know how he's keeping up personally.
Yeah,
LeBron has been playing really good. I'm sure you're real happy about that.
we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about that.
I can't wait till that old sack of potatoes is out of the league.
He's got like 2 more years left.
That's 2 years too many. Maybe that's when I'll get into basketball, when he retires.
When he retires, you just buy
I'm sure
every
I've made that
Bulls
joke before.
merchandise. Yeah, you definitely have.
I'm sure I have. Yeah,
That
no,
is-
when he retires, I'll go full-fledged fucking Kenny Beecham for the Bulls.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
No, Luca's performance blew me away
Yeah.
because I love Luca. I'm a big Luca fan. I think Luca's a silly, funny, goofy guy. And the fact that he's so good at like this is a very casual take, but I don't care. The fact that he's so good at basketball while just being a silly, goofy guy is pretty grand. Like, did you
Yeah.
hear what he said after the game?
No. Oh, he said I'm tired or something.
I'm tired. I'm gonna go home and drink a beer. That was his response.
Yeah, him and Jokic are like the same type of dude.
They are
just
the
like
same type of dude.
they just like fall around for 15 seconds out of the 24 seconds and then throw up a shot and it goes in.
Right.
And then like freak out and walk down the court.
Yeah.
When Luca hit the game tying shot in his 60-point, like 60-20-10 game or whatever it was,
Mhm.
his celebration after, like you would see like Kobe make a shot like that and he would just like not react at all and it'd be so cold and he'd walk down the court. And then Luca made that and he freaked out like a little kid. And I just loved
this
it
is
so
against the
much.
Clippers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's an old video. What the hell? That's a video from 2020.
Oh, I don't like that. That's old now. I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh yeah, he just got a big grin on his face and started going like this.
Yeah.
Luke is just a goofy dude.
Yeah.
Those are the best types of athletes, man. Just silly, goofy guys having a good time.
That's why I love Giannis so much. because
Mhm.
He's literally just like the biggest dude ever. And like if he hit me with an elbow in the paint, I'd go and I'd like fly through the stanchion.
Mhm.
But he just like when he like is on like live or something and I see
Yeah.
a clip of it, I just like smile.
Dude, he could kill you with an elbow, but then he goes on his Instagram live and says he's a freak on the court and in the sheets. That's the type of dude Giannis is, and I love it.
Facts.
Yeah, I feel like that's something a little bit different between the NFL and the NBA. Is like these big personalities you get in the NFL. Usually they're cocky or they're loud, and like that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. If you can back it up, sure. In the NBA, they're fucking goofballs.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of superstars in the NFL that are goofy like those three are, or
Yeah.
like Kawhi. There's no Kawhi in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's no fucking type of fucking laugh in the NFL. Still one of the funniest clips ever. I butchered the laugh, but we all know what it is.
Of
Um,
course.
like I don't know. I feel like the NBA. Maybe it's because you see their faces more often. Maybe that's why it feels
Yeah,
more
I was
personal.
thinking. I feel like the NFL is more intense. Like,
Yeah,
you can't be like you have to be really, really good to be consistent in the NFL. In the NBA, you can be like a shooter
yeah,
or like a good at like mid range, and then that can make you be the superstar. But in the
that's
NFL, you have
true.
to be consistent and like disciplined and all that.
Yeah. Although goofy shit does happen in the NFL. Like, did you hear about what Jair Alexander did to Justin Jefferson?
I didn't hear about it. I saw it, and I can't remember it.
Dude, he broke up a pass and then hit the gritty over top of him while he
Yeah,
laid down.
yeah.
Jair Alexander is a cocky son of a bitch, but that is one of the funniest things I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that is brutal to do to another grown man, to fucking gritty over top of him. All right, so unless you have anything else to add with the NBA, is there anything else that's happened?
No.
All right, then we're going to move on to a new segment that we're going to do at the end of every episode. We've already went over an hour, so we're going to keep this to like 10-15 minutes, which is a simple Q&A segment. I went to Twitter. If you don't follow me, I'm ready. If you don't follow me already, excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with me. I keep burping. I got something. Something's not right with my what's it called? My body, obviously, but like more specifically, like my digestive tract. I don't know what it is. Um, if you don't follow me already on Twitter at MillerFootball_, I tweeted out and I said recording a podcast in 10 minutes, and I want to start closing out episodes with the Q&A segment. So if you have any NFL or NBA related questions, or really any questions in general, reply to this tweet and we'll answer them while we record. Now we only got 4 questions, which thankfully that's manageable. You know, I'd rather get 4 the first time we do this than like 30. So we're just going to go down the list. The first question here is from Twitter user Walter White Seal, which is awesome. He's one of my favorite people on Twitter. He's fucking awesome. He says, and this is probably more of a me question, but feel free to chime in if you would like. How many quarterbacks are currently better than Kirk Cousins?
Oh.
And I hate to say that it's not as much as I would like it to be. I could probably say like 13 or 14 confidently. Like, hold on, let me get out the notes here and I'll start writing them down.
Yeah, I will do the same.
So we got, I'm just going off the top of my head, Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Rodgers, Brady. Now I'm blanking on names because I know I'm forgetting people.
Dak.
That's I think I would lean Dax. No, I don't know. Dax had a really rough stretch of like 3 games.
Old Kirk's had a rough stretch of 5
A
years.
career. Yeah, of a career. Hold on. I am blanking
I'm
on
putting
names.
Brock Purdy over him, honestly.
I respect it. I respect that. Honestly, I respect the hell out of that. God, I feel like a casual. I looked up NFL quarterbacks because I'm just blanking on names right now. Kyler Murray, that's another one I'm taking over him. Jalen Hurts, duh.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in 2 weeks, so he left my mind.
Ooh.
Call me a biased Bears fan. I'm taking Justin over him.
I probably would too.
Justin Schuyler Fields, I'm taking him over him. I don't know. I would say objectively, there's about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Like Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts, 100% without a doubt, are better than Kirk Cousins right now. And then I think that's when you get into like that tier 3 of quarterback, where it's like Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott. Like you asked me 2 weeks ago, I'm putting Dak over him, but Dak's put up some stinkers lately.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I would probably still have Kirk ranked about 13 or 14 personally, but I guess you could put him as high as 10 right this second. I hate to say it, I hate to admit it,
Yeah.
but I don't think that'll last. I think that might be a little bit of recency bias on my end just because of how poorly Dak's played the past few weeks. So you know what? I think I'd still take Dak over him. I think Kirk is probably about 11th or 12th.
Yeah.
I think I can comfortably say you can rank him anywhere from 11 to 14. So I would take, personally, about 12 quarterbacks over him. I'll say 12.
Yeah. I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, except for I'd probably put Brock Purdy 13, Kirk 14.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm being
All right.
serious too.
No, I know you're being serious. The Brock pot.
Yeah, the Brock pot.
Okay.
Unstoppable.
Okay. So our next question comes from Strict Sports Pod, and he asks opinions on Lauri Markkanen.
Ooh.
Andrew, you're the basketball guy. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, seems like everybody on that Jazz team got better when they switched teams. But Lauri's really coming out of nowhere. Really had no competent skills on the Bulls or the Cavs.
That's not true. He was the fastest player in NBA history to 100 threes.
Oh.
Lauri was a good shooter in Chicago. It's just that's all they wanted him to do, and that very much limited him.
Yeah. But then I don't think he played good for the Cavs or as good as he should have.
I didn't follow him with the Cavs, so I honestly couldn't tell you. But he's been killing it with the Jazz. Like he's putting up a most improved player type performance or type season.
Unfortunately, Shea's there, so I think that he should win that.
Shea's gonna get it because Shea has become like a top 5 to 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
But you know, Lauri is having that sort of performance, and props to him, man. I'll never forget when we traded Jimmy Butler and drafted Lauri as a Bears fan, or as a Bulls fan. Sorry, wrong sport. I literally have a Snapchat video of me going, "Who? You traded Jimmy Butler for this fucking guy?"
I remember that video.
And then I really liked Lauri. He was like my favorite player on the Bulls after the fact. And then they were just like, "No,
just shoot.
You're gone." Like fucking Jim Boylan was like, "All right, buddy, you're a spot up shooter. That is all you're gonna do. You're gonna sit in the corner and you're gonna shoot." That's not Lauri. He's more than that. You can't turn the kid into a spot up shooter. His name is the finisher. He can finish. Let him finish. Let him cook. And they didn't. That was the problem. In Chicago, they did not let him cook. And now the Jazz are letting him cook, and look what he's doing. I love Lauri. I have faith in him. I think he's a great basketball player. And it breaks my heart that he's not a Bull anymore. It really does. I'd love to have him back. Especially now. Because every fucking Bulls player not named DeMar DeRozan or Alex Caruso like hates each other now. Or Patrick Williams. I guess Patrick Williams, he's stepped up. But like Zach LaVine apparently hates everybody now. Lonzo, I don't know what the hell Lonzo's doing. He was on The Masked Singer.
Cancun. He's in Cancun, dude.
He was in Cancun. He was on The Masked Singer as the whatchamacallit. Literally, he was called the whatchamacallit. He actually did pretty good. I was proud of him. But you know, like I don't know. I want Zach LaVine to like the Bulls again. That'd be great. I wish he'd do that. I regret paying him the max. I hate to say that because I love Zach, but I do. But yeah, I love Lauri Markkanen. He's great.
Yeah,
he's great. The marksman, the finisher. He's got some of the coolest nicknames in basketball.
Yeah.
And speaking of names, we got our next question from Daniel. Not our Daniel, a different Daniel. This guy has a Bears Pray for Damar Hamlin profile picture, so he's valid. Yeah. He says, "What is the greatest sports name of all time, and why is it Bull Bull?" Do we disagree?
I think it's Fat Lever.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah,
I just love that name so much. First time I saw it, I was like, "That's a crazy created player name."
He's not real.
He's
He
not
never
real.
existed.
Can't be real.
I actually had that same thought when I first saw him because you got him as like a reward in NBA 2K My Team one year, like
Yeah.
one of the first players you get. And I was like, he isn't real.
That lever, that's a little cruel.
He doesn't exist.
Whoever's picture this is, that's messed up. that you
Yeah,
put
man,
him
he's
in
not
such
even that fat.
leather.
He's just lever. He's no fat. He's built lever.
It's just lever.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm entirely biased in multiple facets, but I think the greatest name in sports history is Bronco Nagurski. Straight
Bronco
up.
Nagurski.
Yeah,
What?
you've never heard of Bronco Nagurski?
No.
He was a fullback that played for the Bears in the 1950s.
Of course I didn't
30s.
hear about that, okay? Of course I don't know who he is.
You're friends with me. He's a Bears fullback.
From the 1950s.
I was going to be a history teacher, motherfucker. He gets all three of my favorite things.
Bears fullback history.
Yeah.
Bears fullback old, I should say.
Yeah. Now, once I found out that the man fucking was in a Sunday in the Park with George, it's all over.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he was.
Okay.
I think it would be pretty cool if he was.
Yeah.
No, he was a Ukrainian I'm sorry, he wasn't born in Ukraine. He's a Ukrainian football player that was from like Canada. He was Canadian, and then got recruited to come play at the University of Minnesota after not playing football at all. But it was because he was such a big farmhand. He was like 6'3", 215, which back then was massive.
Huge.
It wasn't the 50s. He played way earlier than that. When did he play? The 30s? Fuck. I hate myself. I should know this. I should know that. Yeah, unrelated to everything. I hate myself. No, I should know this. Oh my god, this is bothering me. This is the reason that no one on the Bears can wear the number 3. Yeah, he played in the 30s and 40s, from 1930 to 1937, and then in 1943. Yeah, he took a couple years off to become a professional wrestler. And he is in the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh my god.
He's in the pro wrestling, and I'm not talking WWE, I'm talking real wrestling. That was Bronco. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the College Football Hall of Fame, and the World Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then when he retired, do you know what he did with his life, Andrew?
What did he do?
He retired to a small cabin in a small town near Niagara Falls and became a mechanic.
Wow.
Yeah. And there is a legend that states that, the people of his town liked him so much as a mechanic because what he would do is he would screw their hubcaps on so tight to the point where he was the only person that could unscrew them and replace them and do stuff with them because he was that strong.
Bro's a genius.
Yeah, big brain, right? And there's also another story, one of my favorite stories to tell about any football player. So, back in the day when they played football, there wasn't padding on the sidelines. They didn't have all this special stuff. So Bronco was so big and so fast that this one time he ran through like 4 people on a single play. With his momentum, ran into the goalpost, bounced off the goalpost, and went into a brick wall and broke the brick wall. Now, obviously, this is a legend. Maybe he didn't actually break it, but this is what the eyewitnesses say. And then he just stood up, jogged back to the huddle, and said, "Damn, that last guy hit me awfully hard."
He didn't know it was the
goalpost.
He didn't Jesus Christ.
He didn't know it was the goalpost.
He didn't know it was a goalpost.
Yeah. That this is a real man. His name was Bronislaw Nagurski, otherwise known as Bronco.
Bronislaw Nagurski?
Bronislaw Nagurski.
That is a legend. That is a legend.
So yeah, it isn't like haha funny like Fat Lever or Bull Bull, but his name was Bronco Nagurski, and he played fullback.
That's a Viking right there.
He literally, quite literally, he was a Ukrainian Viking. I don't know if that was a thing. I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I got a buddy who's really into Ukrainian history. I'll have to ask him. And
Ukrainian people, they're not seafaring people, so I don't think.
Yeah, well, maybe one of them did.
One of them.
Bronco's great-great-great-grandpa was the only Ukrainian Viking, which is better than being a Minnesota Viking.
Exactly. Of course.
Yeah. All right. And now we've actually got a part 2 to a question that I skipped over. This was from Walter White Seal once again. Did you watch or did you hear about the Deshaun Watson face mask today?
Face mask.
I'll send you the video.
Oh boy.
I tweeted this out earlier today because I was so pumped. Basically, what happens is Steelers defensive end Larry Ogunjobi grabbed Watson by the face mask and just about ripped the man's face off.
Oh my god.
And they didn't call it. No penalty.
Oh yeah, boy.
Watch.
Oh my god. Oh
No
yeah.
No call on that.
Oh, I love that the tweet is complaining about it too.
Yeah, I tweeted it out, that same video, and I was like Larry Ogunjobi doing God's work or something like that.
Yeah. I love that he puts his hand up like, what?
Yeah.
Shut up, boy.
Shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
Deshaun.
shut up.
You deserve this.
Yeah.
I wish the helmet would have came off. That would have made it better.
I wish that would have happened every single game.
To Watson, yeah. On the
People-
bright side, he's sucked. Like, he's played really bad.
Yeah, he's played terrible. But
Yeah.
I wish people were just taking pot shots at him.
The Bears play the Browns next year.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The Bears also play in Washington, which means I'll get to go to the game.
Oh.
Because my mom has work friends that are Washington season ticket holders. And they already said, if the Bears come to Washington, our tickets, your husband and your son can go. So me and my dad get to go.
Yoink.
Yeah. You know, I've only ever been to one other NFL game, and ironically, it was also Washington when they were called the bad name.
The bad one.
The bad one, yeah. And it was a Monday night game, and I watched Mitch Trubisky throw 3 touchdowns. It's pretty sweet. Pretty awesome, pretty good experience. I liked it. Shitty stadium, but
terrible stadium.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
A real killer.
Yeah. But anyways, the question initially was, did the refs make the right call by not calling it? And yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Any physical penalty not called on Deshaun Watson is the right call. Roughing the passer, fucking rip his head off, kick him in the nuts, full on Ndamukong Suh, Bill Romanowski, Myles Garrett type shit.
Oh,
yeah. It's all the right call.
Yep.
It's all right. I'm not going to go any further with that because there are other things I wish to say, but I'm not going to do that because
fill your socks with soap and beat him in the locker room.
Yeah, or Nichols.
Oh my God, Nichols! That was a reference to Full Metal Jacket a little bit, but Nichols would be awful.
What was it in iCarly's Butter?
Butter, yeah.
In iCarly, Sam filled her socks with sticks of butter, and she swung it around.
That is brutal.
That too.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. Could you imagine getting beat with a sock full of frozen sticks of butter?
The worst part is the mental pain.
The mental pain. Where did these bruises come from? The butter sock.
dot.
The butter sock. Oh my God. Yeah, fuck Deshaun Watson. All my homies hate Deshaun Watson.
For real.
And that's on God. That's the whitest thing I've ever said.
All
right, we're going to move on. Oh my. All right, and then our final question comes from my buddy Jake Talk Sports, and he says, what does the package for the number 1 overall pick have to be for you to take it if you're the Bears? It depends. It depends on the team. If we're talking the Colts, for example, which I think would be the ideal trade down because you're only moving down to pick 4. You need 2 first-round picks, obviously. First rounder this year, first rounder next year. And I don't know, a couple, like a second and a third on top of that. I don't know. It's going to be hard to judge because I feel like what's going to end up happening is the team is going to overpay. We talked about this a little bit already. It's going to be a bidding war. And some team that really wants either Stroud or Young or maybe even fucking Will Levis is going to overpay for the first overall pick because it's going to be a bidding war. Now, there could also be other teams like the Raiders could want a quarterback. I'd take Devontae Adams in that trade. I doubt they'd do it, but I would take it. It's a lot. There's a lot of possibilities for the Bears, and I think that's the beautiful part of it. is that they are in prime position to do basically whatever the hell they want. So really what the package needs to be is just the best one. Whatever the highest offer is, just sell the pick off to the highest bidder. But I would say at a minimum, multiple first round picks and a second round pick.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think that's enough. Quite frankly, I kind of suck at gauging what is and what isn't a good trade by NFL standards. So I don't know, but multiple first round picks for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that's everything. We need to leave off with a question. Andrew, do you have a question?
Oh dear God.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you don't, you can just pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. If you were the Bears, what would you do with the number 1 overall pick? Let us know in the comments down below. Would you trade it? Would you keep it? Would you draft Will Anderson? Would you draft Jalen Carter, Jackson Smith and Jigba? I don't know, Peter Skoronski, North Dakota State legendary fullback Hunter Lepke, whoever. Just let us know what you do with that pick in the comments. And that wraps us up for today. Andrew, as always, thank you for joining me. This was fun. I'm glad we did this again.
We should do this more often.
We should do this more often. Almost like, I don't know, maybe every week.
Maybe every Sunday at 9 p.m.
And then we upload every Monday, sometime in the morning and or afternoon.
Perhaps.
I think that would be quite swell. Personally, I think that would be quite nice. And maybe sometimes we do it with other people.
Maybe
Sometimes
a backup video, perhaps supplement the week. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a film review.
Perhaps maybe on this off the top of my head, Stranger Things season 1 would be the first one I would do probably.
Yeah. Some NFL quiz videos.
Maybe.
Maybe we could dabble in some YouTube shorts. Because that's apparently good for the algorithm.
Yes, of course.
Maybe we start taking things we post on the Tickety Talk. Put it on the YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We post on TikTok.
Yes, we. Of course. And by we, I mean me.
Yeah. I'll get back and do it someday.
Yeah. You're a busy boy. It's understandable.
I'm starting to lose followers, and it's actually making me
really
sad. Just to see the number go down.
Just now?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I've been at like 1,335 for 2 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did I hit 10K and plateaued? So I feel you. TikTok,
you hit 10K, so
yeah. No, they switched up their algorithm randomly, and it fucked me hard. Pause. I didn't mean it like that.
No, that sounds weird coming out of your mouth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it screwed me. That's what it did. It screwed me. It wasn't good. Oh, I just looked over at my TV and I saw an advertisement for Clueless starring Paul Rudd.
Oh,
that's a good movie. If you haven't already, go watch Clueless. Great movie.
If you're still here.
Yeah, if you're still here, if you made it this far into the video, please do yourself a favor. Go watch Clueless. It's great.
Give us a rating in the comments if you want.
In the comments, let us know what you would rate Clueless out of 10. Give us your full letterbox film review. And also
I'll copy it and then use it in a film review. Thank you.
Andrew will take your comments and plagiarize them and make an entire video out of it. And also let us know what you do with the number 1 overall pick so I can copy that and make a TikTok out of it. So I can plagiarize everything you have to say.
Good.
Yeah. We're becoming Jack's films. Andrew, I don't know if you get that joke.
Yeah, I do get that joke.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. Cultured individual. I like that. Okay. Anyways, we've been rambling for 3 minutes and we need to stop. So to everyone out there watching, and Andrew included, I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you all deserve it, because you're all wonderful people.